Greetings, my friends. I'm Andrea Astrologer, and I welcome you to this series that is compiled actually in a long format video. This is based on your request and all the short lessons that are spread throughout 17 episodes will be included here. And yes, there are many techniques. We covered really pretty many, I would say, but it's still the first level. There are many others and they are more and more complex. So I think this would be handy right now for you to check because of course we do have a different experience and level of interest in astrology. I think it's one of the most complicated domains of astrology, actually the science of luck, because it has a lot of unknowns still, and a lot of ancient writings are really quite coded still in order to find a clear interpretation and of course to adapt it to the contemporary era in which we live. And I want to really give you the most important thing from this level, from the first year, that was given through bits and pieces in the first episodes. You can make a screenshot of it and really apply it to yourself. And actually it is dependent on location and not on your time of birth. And I think this has the highest rate of success, and it is the Sarvarta CD technique. So you will see on the screen the full table. And it talks about the days that are favorable in terms of gains, in terms of luck, and it is also a table that helps you pick up the days when you have this success called CD that you would really have to take on a challenging task, to pass an exam, for example, to attend a competition of some sort, or to take an important decision, or to attend an important meeting. So this is really something that you can use to various domains of life and not only trading. I wish you really enjoyment with this and to have a good experimentation basis to adapt it with your own horoscope as well. And I am happy to have feedback in comments how well this works for you. And yes, here is the whole collection of the 17 episodes of this series. Thank you. Welcome to the Lucky Trader series. We do have promises for different strategies that would keep us profitable. But what about the stars? And what is about this subjective dimension that you would say, oh, I have a lucky day, or this day I should watch out and maybe not trade. Maybe that would be a good idea. This is what we want to talk about. How can you know yourself as a trader in order to mitigate risk in the days that are not so favorable, and to use the various techniques and strategies? Yes, this is the same like for normal trading, to identify what would work for you to enable and to prepare you for a lucky trading day. Let's explore that. Lucky trader, it's time to demystify the myth. And what myth I'm talking about? The one saying that you make X amount of money per day. I would say that this would be quite average due to the fact that our luck is not the same each day. It is okay to accept that there are days when it is better not to trade. So you will not lose money, and you can really say, oh, it was a successful day, because wealth preservation is also a step towards building wealth, which is important. So it is a principle that I would like you to think about. Let's start with practical tips on how you can be a lucky trader. And it is not that difficult, but I think it is the most complex astrological method. And guess what? I don't think it works generally with a lot of people. This is based on the tests that I did on myself and also on the feedback that I got from clients. But I think we do have some possibilities, and it is interesting for you to really see a method which will be quite simple to use and to understand, and to track it, to see, does it work on myself? And this is something that we will talk about in the next episode, so stay tuned for the next one. Lucky Trader, in this episode, it is really about action. We download the app and learn how to use it. The application is free of charge, and it's called Cosmic Insights, available for iOS and Android. Then please enter the location where you are in, because the position of the moon will depend on the geo coordinates, so it's important. And then the third step is to locate the nakshatra, so constellation information that I show you here with the arrow, and this would really tell you what is the nakshatra active during that day. That's it. And now you are ready to run with the methods that I will show you in the next episodes. In this new episode of Lucky Trader, we will continue with a very important technique which is called Sarvarta Siddhi, sort of translated the art and science of success. And for this it's important to check the nakshatra that is activated for you in this app at the location where you are. We put again this screen so that you can really check it. And it's important to know in which day you are, which is pretty easy with any calendar or on the mobile. You know if it's Sunday or Wednesday and so on. So this is all you need to know. So it's important to see the red days and the green days. I have the Sanskrit names and also the translation. And for each day of the week, from Monday to Sunday, you do have positive and negative days here. So it's like bullish and bearish. Of course, these are the most intense, but you can have also success during the good days. And it's really recommended to avoid the red days. Pay attention to these names. They might be not so natural, but with the app they will be easy recognizable. The red days, I recommend to avoid them really, because from my experience these are the worst days when you can really lose more money than you want, and it is important to have a sort of alert, maybe to avoid trading completely on that day and focus on something else, for example. Lucky Trader, so far we saw a global technique, meaning that it depends where you are located and the position of this moon in the nakshatra or constellation. And this is applicable to all people, and important is the location where you are. I would say from experience that this is a very important technique with really a science of success, so to speak, Sarvarta Siddhi, that you can really employ in your daily life. Actually, it is not related only to trading or to money, to investments. It is also linked to important actions in general. You have maybe an exam or a very important meeting or communication. It's about ensuring that you are successful. Lucky trader, we will go now into specifics, meaning that it will matter when you are born. And as I mentioned in a previous episode, it's important to know at least if it's a night or a day birth. And I want to say that the techniques that we will cover, the first one being Tara Balam, the Sanskrit name, it is based on nakshatras, which are constellations of the moon, lunar mansions. So this means that people who are born in the night, this means after sunset and until the next sunrise, this is the night, will benefit maybe more from this, but I had also good feedback from people who are born during the day. So I think it's a matter of personal tracking and testing. And for this, I would like to go into the nakshatras, to tell them in the order and to share with you their names, because we will need to compute position from a certain lunar mansion or nakshatra, and we will learn that in the Tara Balam technique in the next episode. But right now, let's go into the list of nakshatras. There are 27 nakshatras and you see them here ordered. I will present them in a series of 9. 9 multiplied by 3 is 27. And it is also about what planet would rule these nakshatras, and there is a cycle here. So we have Ashwini, nakshatra number 1, number 2 Bharani, number 3 Kritika, number 4 Rohini, number 5 Mrigashira, number 6 Ardra, number 7 Punarvasu, number 8 Pushya, number 9 Ashlesha. Then this is the first set, which is really finished. We have now the second one, which will be 10, nakshatra number 10 Magha, 11 Purva Falguni, 12 Uttra Falguni, 13 Hasta, 14 Chitra, 15 Swati, 16 Vishaka, 17 Anuradha, 18 Jyeshta. And then the last set starts at nakshatra 19 with Mula, then Purva Ashada 20, 21 Uttra Ashada, 22 Shravana, 23 Danishta, 24 Shatavishak, 25 Purva Bhadrapada, 26 Uttra Bhadrapada, and 27 is Revati. And this is important as a list to have it in order. I will provide this to you as a very important part of the technique, so that you can use then the Cosmic Insights app in order to decide if that day is lucky for you or not, and this will depend on your date and time of birth. In this new episode of Lucky Trader, we will go into horoscope analysis. You do have the app, the Cosmic Insights, and I will walk you through the process of entering personal data, because now it becomes personal. You need to know what are the characteristics of your horoscope in order to find out if you are lucky or not on a certain day. So let's explore this. Scroll down to shortcuts in the main screen of the app, and please find the Add Profile. then tap on it. You will get a lot of fields that you need to fill in, and it is about your personal details. I will have a fictive example with Anna, then enter the gender. Also, you can enter a folder, a sort of category where you want to store the profile, because you can enter more. So it's not only about you. Maybe you want to check for a friend or for your family. Then you enter the date of birth and the time, and this should be for the precise location where you are born. So here you enter the city. I entered Atlanta as an example, and then we do have also the time zone here. That is adjusted also if it's daylight saving or not. This is what the system would automatically compute for you. And also the current city is important, because if you check these lucky times, it's important to know in which city you are. This is because the position of the moon changes with the location on Earth. Many of you would travel a lot and even far away, so this is a very important field to consider. Then we do have here the profile which is ready, and once you have it, you can click here on nakshatra details, and you get the details of all nakshatras, starting with the ascendant, sun and moon. The moon nakshatra is very important to locate, and here we do have in this example a nakshatra of Jyeshta, which is for the moon, and we will analyze based on this example in the next episode what are the lucky days. That's it for now, and now we can go into the rules of luck in the next episode. Like in finance, the risk management is a very important topic, and this is also in luck engineering. It is more important to know when not to trade than when you have really luck to trade. Nevertheless, with this technique, we get both, but just know that the negation is much more powerful. So it's very important to avoid those days, because we know how painful losses are. If you recall from the last episode, Anna has her moon in Jyeshta. So Jyeshta Nakshatra, I mark it with a blue arrow, so that we know this is really the important point that we start to compute. And we do have with red arrows the days that are unlucky, where trading needs to be avoided, and we do have here the 3rd from the moon, and the 5th from the moon, and the 7th nakshatra from the moon. Therefore, the order is very important, and I have these 3 sets of 9. You find them also in the previous episodes, and you can screenshot them, and the colors are also important. You will see in a minute why. So with moon in Jyeshta, unlucky days are when the moon is in Purva Shada, when it is in Shravana and in Shatabhishak. But these are not only the days that are unlucky this month. There are also others. And here the colors come into play. So watch out in the other sets which other nakshatras have the same color. And the one that has the same color with Purva Shada is also Purva Falguni. The one that has the same color with Shravana is Hasta. And the one with the same color like Shatabhishak is Swati. Then we go in the other set and we find out what nakshatra has the same color like Purva Ashada. It is Bharani. What nakshatra has the same color like Shravana? It is Rohini. What nakshatra has the same color like Shatabhishak? It is Ardra. So all these days with red arrows will be unlucky days, which means that all others are lucky, and the ones that are with the same color like Giesta and Giesta itself are considered mild malefics, but usually they are good days, not extraordinarily lucky, but you still can have success with trading. Now I think it is clear why you need both. You need your own horoscope to know where your moon is, and then you need the app to see the current nakshatra so that you compute if it is unlucky or lucky for you. That's it for now. We will continue with other techniques of the moon, and then we will go into other types of techniques that I found are very useful. So stay tuned for the next episode. Welcome to this new episode of the Lucky Trader series, and we talk today about a universal technique which applies to all people actually, regardless if they are born during the day or during the night. And it is about avoiding trading entirely on the day. To be honest, sometimes it works. If you have another positive influence that is especially long-term in your chart. And how do you find out if the moon is in the 8th house based on the whole sign system? You can check this easily in the Cosmic Insights app I show you here, and this is what you can check really easily. It will happen once roughly each month. So you will have, so to speak, a holiday from trading on that day. Welcome to this new episode of the series Lucky Trader, where I want to make a recap and then to present what is the next step in the series. So far we focused on the techniques related to the moon, the nakshatra positions, the placement in the 8th house. They are very time-bound and specific because the moon will really pinpoint the day and even the hour during the day. And this means that such techniques would work the best from what I got in terms of feedback for people born during the night. So this means between the sunset and the next sunrise. However, there is another set of techniques which are actually from the tropical astrology, and they work also on the sidereal zodiac if you are more comfortable with this. And these techniques are more applicable to the people who are born during the day or they have a very strong sun. Nevertheless, they work also for the people born during the night. Sometimes it depends what else is in their horoscope, but they will pinpoint also a certain day, but the precision from what I saw so far is less in terms of timing. It is about periods of luck. It is about time spans, time intervals, so it's not really so much linked to the day, although we have a aspect which is exact on the day. It can pinpoint also big events or periods where people have luck. So we will dive into this in the next episodes. Welcome to the 13th episode in Lucky Trader. I would like to tell you what points do we consider for the computation of the periods of luck for you, specific to your birth time and your specific horoscope. So they are highly personal. And it is about the so-called midpoints that you can access for free on astroseek.com. So we will go through that. And it is about some points that you should check. I think everybody heard about the famous Jupiter-Pluto midpoint, which is a billionaire even nowadays, midpoint millionaire in the past. We do have other midpoints that need to be checked. Jupiter-Neptune, I think it's the most important because it's the speculator endpoint. We do have also Jupiter-Venus, which is in general good for money. Jupiter-Uranus Uranus, which is about sudden luck, and we have the last but maybe not the least endpoint, which is not so easy to compute. It's the midpoint between Jupiter and the part of fortune in your chart. So we will explore in the next episodes how can you really check these. Welcome to this new episode of Lucky Trader, where we compute these important and lucky periods in our lives using midpoints. And I recommend here Astro. It's default with the tropical zodiac. You find the link in the description and also here. And I would like to show you a hypothetical example with a chart which is for the 8th of August 1988 with New York as the location of birth, and we will check the midpoints. As you can see, we can select from the left hand side the planet, and from the right hand side we will have the various midpoints, and we will go through 4 of them and what aspects do we need to check. In this episode of Lucky Trader, we check now the various aspect types that we need to consider, and we consider the tropical astrology here, the major aspects which are the so-called hard aspects. It's the conjunction which is the most powerful, then the opposition, second in strength, and the square. The square will be more often to meet, and it is not the strongest. But the other 2 are more rare and they are strong, and they would signify important events. And we can really consider Jupiter with the Jupiter-Neptune midpoint, which is the speculator midpoint, very important for trading, for example, for betting, for any activity that would involve some risk. And it is really very interesting to see which are the days that are really in focus for us. Jupiter will be a very rare event. It's super lucky, and especially the conjunction and the opposition will happen rarely. And we do have also other planets that would have faster cycles, and this means that we will have periods of luck that are more often. And these are Venus, Mercury, also the Sun, and even which can check the Moon, which will give us quite interesting opportunity windows for having such periods of luck. Welcome to this new episode of Lucky Trader, where we recap this last technique, which is very important. So we check as per tropical astrology the hard aspects, the major aspects, the square, the opposition, and the conjunction with midpoints. And this can be triggered by any planet. We gave in the last episode Jupiter as an example, which is really outstanding. You can see how rare this occurs in our lives. But there are even more rare aspects from Uranus, from Pluto, for example, from Neptune, which are pretty unique in life, and sometimes we don't have these at all. But Mercury, Venus, Mars are more practical, and they would happen more regularly according to the cycles. Now I would like to say also the fact that we focus on the Jupiter-Neptune endpoint, which is the speculator endpoint. We have the Jupiter-Pluto endpoint, which is the millionaire, billionaire nowadays midpoint. Then check all these planets with Jupiter-Uranus, which is sudden luck, for example, like can you win the lottery potentially? And we have also Jupiter-Venus, which is also about receiving money. Maybe not so surprisingly, it can be a nice a tax return, for example, or a gift from somebody, but it's also a lucky period in terms of money. Welcome to episode 17 of Lucky Trader. We explored so far techniques suitable for night births and for day births as well, and also pinpointing the day, but also lucky periods with nakshatras and midpoints respectively. You learned the Tara Balam and also to identify the important midpoints that have to deal with speculation and trading in general. Now I think it will become more advanced from now on, and I will put together, based on your feedback, all the lessons in a long format video that would be part 1 of the lucky engineering techniques. Maybe I will come with part 2, which is more advanced astrology. I refer especially to Nadi that can explore really deeper such techniques, and they work as well with financial assets. Again, thank you so much for being with me on this journey, and I wish you the best of luck. Be inspired. See you. If you made that far, then congratulations. To see in one shot all techniques, it's not simple, and I want to thank you for the time invested, for your interest and for your attention, and I want to thank you as well for liking and subscribing. It helps the channel, and until next time, be joyful. See you.